Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be touring Crooked River Ranch with a little driving tour. Like, subscribe if you want to see more information, hit the bell. Let's go check this out. Okay, so welcome to Crooked River Ranch. This is really the largest community in the state of Oregon. While people say, well, why do you say that, Parker? Well, it's 10,000 acres. There's 2,500 home sites. Over 5,000 people live out here at the ranch, as we call it. Crooked River Ranch is just a really cool little spot. There's all different types of things. As you can see, that sign to the right, it says that Steelhead Falls is off to the left down Badger. We're gonna go shoot down there towards kind of the end of this. And it really just has a lot to, well, really cause people that want to live out here. So Crooked River Ranch is maintained by an HOA. It does employ 25 people just due to the sheer extent of this, well, of the community. And it's really just something that is very well done. There's no properties out here that are smaller than an acre. Typical lot sizes are 1, 2, and 5 acres, sometimes going up as high as 10, but 10 is a rarity. There is a very sizable mix in terms of properties out here. So when I say that, I mean, like, you can see a legitimate $1 million home next to a manufactured home. But the way that Crooked River Ranch was set up, and it was set up in the 70s, was that there was supposed to be diversity within the population, and it's supposed to be a place where you're able to live where the HOA isn't overly regulatory. There are some CC&Rs, but there's no one going to come out and tell you you can't paint your house a certain color, or you're going to have to keep your yard mowed and things like that. One of the things that is really cool about Crooked River Ranch is that you do have the ability to drill for your own well to make sure that you have your own water, which is very nice. But they also have a very good community water system as well, and they have some of the best water just in the area. It's a direct aquifer bowl, and it is absolutely delicious. It is great water, no chemical taste or anything like that. The ranch is also one of the few places that has a ton of activities here in Central Oregon. So when you are a member of the HOA and own property out here, you actually get access to just tons of different things. So there is a full-fledged golf course that's out here. We're going to drive by and see that. Pickleball, tennis courts, horseback riding trails. There are tons of community events such as sales each month. There's also a little pizzeria, but that's not part of the HOA. That's just a business that's out here. There are several small businesses out here as well. And as you can see, as we're coming up here, we'll see the canyon that is really just the northern border of the ranch. And we're gonna drop down in here, down to where the golf course is, as well as the clubhouse. As you can see off to the right, you see a little bit of that golf course peeking through. Crooked River Ranch golf course is wonderful. It's super fun to play, not extremely challenging, very family friendly. And we'll be doing a course review on that here in the future as well. But there are different places that you can stay. They do have the yurts. There are a couple different RV parks that are available. And if you're ever down kind of in the area, the Sandbagger Saloon is a good place to grab a bite to eat. We'll just swing through the parking lot really quick, just kind of so you can see what's going on. Yeah, so this is Canyon Village up here on the right. We're just gonna swing through. It has just great, it's a great little spot for you to come down. Usually fairly busy. It's a very popular spot here in Central Oregon. One of the great golf course communities. Central Oregon has just under 20 of those, which is really nice. You can see the tennis courts up on the right-hand side. Right here ahead of us is the office and clubhouse for the golf course. And then off to the right, we have the Sandbagger Saloon, and just ahead of us, we have Crooked River Realty and a few other little businesses, as well as the post office, which is the white building. Got a little putting green here. Just a lot of stuff going down here at the common areas and the Canyon Village. Behind the post office, there are a couple dozen yurts that are available for rental as well, and they're really nice little spots. We're going to take a right, come and check out a little bit more of the commercial area right past the golf course. One of the big things that you will see out in Crooked River a lot are corrals and fencing. This is a very big rodeo community. And on the right, we just passed the Crooked River Ranch Cabins. That's a cute little spot for you to come vacation. As you can see, there's kind of some mixed work as well down here. Take the right onto Commercial Loop, which has a few different places. So you have just the old Crooked River Ranch Trading Post just ahead of us. A spot where you can stop off just kind of your general store, gas station needs. The RV park to the right, that's Copper Ridge. We got the pack-it-in storage up on the right. It's very difficult to get in there, but it is very affordable, which is nice. We also have kind of the local watering holes, which are the Big Dog Saloon, which we just passed. And then straight ahead of us, past the Northwest Green Panels, is Over the Edge Tap House, which has a couple of little food trucks. It is a wonderful little spot. A lot of people very much so enjoy Over the Edge. They have a wonderful drink selection. And they're usually pretty busy. One of the things that is really nice about Crooked River, if you like Central Oregon, but you don't necessarily like the cold that comes along with our winters, the Terrebonne area and Crooked River Ranch area are a little bit more mild mild climates. It's usually 3 to 5 degrees warmer here than it is in Bend. It's because we're at a little bit of a lower elevation. As you can see, we're down the canyon, and then we're further away from the mountains. And it's just a little bit of a banana belt. There's actually quality agriculture that goes on out here. We actually grow quite a bit of soybeans, and then a lot of carrot seed. So that's where you see a lot of this going on. And there's also some cattle and things like that that are being bred and sold. So there is a lot of very quality local beef production as well. That's one of the things that I always recommend. If you have the means and you got the freezer, if you live in this area, you're not going to have any difficulty finding good quality locally sourced food. People take a lot of pride in that, and that is something that is can be lacking at times, but if you find the right people, you will definitely find yourself some good steaks and great hamburger. Back up onto the plateau and back into the general neighborhood. See, we've got really big views there. And just ahead, I'm not sure if you can kind of make that out, but we do have 2 of the 3 sisters there. They're kind of silhouetted. There you go. Now you got all 3. Down to Bachelor, so you can find property out here that has, honestly, occasionally up to 7 mountain views, seeing all the way out to Hood on a good day and all the way down to Bachelor. You'll see up on the left-hand side, we do have the Crooked River Fire Department. They are a necessity out here, being that we're a little further away from the other rural services, and there are over 5,000 people and 2,500 homes. We need to have that fire department because it does get a little dry, does get a little hot, and we don't want to see any major fires. Central Oregon has had a few of them over the last few years. We did have one last year that got a little close, but never got across the canyon. Darkened up the sky a little bit, but it was nothing to be worried about because we had such a fine fire department knocking all that down. So big shout out to those guys. And one of the things you might have noticed while we've been driving around out here is you'll see our main paved road, and then you see gravel roads. And so since it is an HOA, these are common roads that are taken care of. Typically the HOA does plow them, but not all of the roads are paved. We have our main thoroughfares, which are paved out here. And those paved roads are phenomenally well taken care of. And the dirt roads are more of our ancillary, our arteries, and they are graded regularly. You don't have a lot of bumps. You have a little bit of dust in the summertime, but nothing to be worried of. One of the very cool things about living out here, since it is a more rural community, you do actually have quite a bit of wildlife that lives out here. You will see quite a few mule deer. Occasionally you'll see a coyote, and every once in a while you might see a cougar, but they really pose no harm. Just make sure you don't leave your cats and dogs outside at night. Just don't want to make sure that all the critters are okay, because they are part of the family. As you can see, we got these big mountain views ahead of us. We can see all the way to Jefferson right now. Absolutely gorgeous. As we filter through just this really just wonderful neighborhood. There's tons of amazing stick-built homes out here. And as it becomes more and more popular, we're starting to see nicer and nicer homes, just because the privacy and the ability to do really whatever you want. There's really not a lot that you can't do out here. And then Crooked River Ranch is part of the Redmond School District. It is in a weird spot because it actually splits between Jefferson and Deschutes County, but it is in the Redmond School District. So you do have a very good school district that you are a part of. The buses do run out here. It is a little bit of an early pickup, but it does work. We are also about a 20 to 25 minute drive away from Redmond, about 40 minutes from Bend. We're about probably 20 to 25 minutes away from Madras as well. You're 5 to 10 minutes from Terrebonne and Smith Rock, and a ton of other wonderful amenities that are out here. As I mentioned earlier, one of the great things about Crooked River Ranch is the community. Not just the way that it lays out and things like that, but also the people. There are tons of activities for people to get involved with. It is a very active outdoor community. There's tons of horseback riding, road biking, mountain biking, hiking, hunting, fishing, just tons of different things that really are a major draw. So one of my favorite things about Crooked River Ranch is just the sheer size. At 10,000 acres, it is something that you can literally spend hours out here driving around, checking things out. One of my personal favorite things is where we are on our way to right now, which is the Deschutes River, Steelhead Falls. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a state recreation area, and it is free use. It is phenomenal. You can go camp. There is good fishing down in the river. And if you go down and hike the falls, it is one of the more beautiful waterways that we do have down here. The water is fantastic. You can go swimming. It's very cold, but it is very nice. And it's just, I think it's one of the best things about Crooked River Ranch. It's one of those spots you can go ride your mountain bikes, you can take horses out there. It really is kind of a crown jewel outside of all the other phenomenal amenities that this place has. And one of the things I bet you've noticed while we've been driving around quite a bit, and there is a fairly large population that lives out here, there is not a ton of traffic, which is great. And the people that drive out here are very nice. I've sold a few houses out in this area, and I have never had any issues with any neighbors. Things have always been very copacetic, very friendly. And I think that's just kind of the general vibe out here out at the ranch. People want to take their time, go a little slower, and really just enjoy everything that this community has to offer. I mean, if they didn't, they wouldn't be out here. And from the twice a month kind of community sales and flea markets to just the quality little eateries and amenities and recreation, this is one of the great neighborhoods out in Central Oregon. There's always a lot of demand. Homes sell very quickly out here because everybody wants to have a little bit of privacy and a little bit of the ability to do whatever they want. Plus, one of the best things, and I learned this from living out in Terrebonne for 4 years, the sunsets out here are truly amazing. When you have these big views looking west and you get all 7 of the mountains, it really frames very nicely, and you get some phenomenal pinks and purples and just big, almost like Mexico, Hawaii style sunsets. They are really, really quite unbelievable. See, we're back at the fire station again. That's just out here on the right. One of the big things about Crooked River Ranch is it is a very large loop. There's a lot of homes that are in the center as well once you start getting towards the butte and everything, but it is basically a giant halo out here, which is kind of your exterior. Peninsula is one of your big roads. Same with Shad. And if you ever get lost out here or you get a little turned around and you just want to get out, I always recommend looking for the fire evacuation signs. That's one of the things in Central Oregon that we do have, which is the fastest route out of a neighborhood, and they typically are posted everywhere out here. Not that you should be worried about fire within the neighborhood or the community. There hasn't ever been one, but it is something to be aware of just because we are in a little bit more of an arid desert climate, and we've had a few fires over the past few years. This summer we've been very blessed with the fact that we really haven't had any issue with fire. We had a very wet spring, which was wonderful, but we could always use a little bit more water. But that's kind of the general complaint of the desert anyway, that it is dry.
can't do nothing with you. I can't do nothing with you.
As we roll down here, it is a little bit of a bumpy ride. So I apologize if you do get motion sick on this. But if you are coming down here in the winter, which is always a nice thing, always remember to bring the proper vehicle. Tires or chains. I've seen quite a few people get stuck on this little road because it does get icy, it does get a little slick. So, as we come and drop right down here, this is the opening of the state park. And if you go to the right here, you can just walk right down to Steelhead Falls. Have a nice little parking lot. And if you swing down to the left, you can go further in the state park down to where the Deschutes River is and where the campsites are. So this is just the beginning of Steelhead State Park. Little laboratory right there. And then we swing it back around and we came the way that we came. Or came the way that we returned the way that we came from, and we are on our way out of Parker River Ranch. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I'm Parker. I'm still in Central Oregon. You can find my website in the link description. And yeah, have yourself a blessed day. As we roll down here, it is a little bit of a bumpy ride. So I apologize if you do get motion sick on this. But if you are coming down here in the winter, which is always a nice thing, always remember to bring the proper vehicle. Tires or chains. I've seen quite a few people get stuck on this little road because it does get icy, it does get a little slick. So, as we come and drop right down here, this is the opening of the state park. And if you go to the right here, you can just walk right down to Steelhead Falls. Have a nice little parking lot. And if you swing down to the left, you can go further in the state park down to where the Deschutes River is and where the campsites are. So this is just the beginning of Steelhead State Park. Little laboratory right there. And then we swing it back around and we came the way that we came. Or came the way that we returned the way that we came from, and we are on our way out of Parker River Ranch. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I'm Parker. I'm still in Central Oregon. You can find my website in the link description. And yeah, have yourself a blessed day.